If you're looking to grow your YouTube channel, you're most likely wondering how to quickly edit your YouTube videos. By the end of this video, you'll learn the process that I personally use to quickly edit my YouTube videos so that I can upload 3 times a week. For more art and entrepreneurship type videos, make sure to jingle all my bells and buttons for new videos every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I was a storyboard artist working in Hollywood, and I wanted to share some simple tips that I've learned in order to help you get better at editing video. Let's get started. The first step of the process is to create an outline and film. For me, I actually used to script out my entire process, but I don't do that anymore. I create an outline. It makes the process of writing my videos a lot faster. I no longer have to take hours, if not days, to write the script for my videos. But if I don't have an outline, I tend to rant for a long time and go all over the place and not really have a focused subject to talk about. So it's best to have some kind of outline with a few bullet points so you know that you're going to stay on track when you go to start filming. And here's my process when I start filming. A lot of beginners tend to feel really self-conscious and make a lot of mistakes when they film. It happens to all of us, especially me, because I'm not the most confident on camera. So what that means is you tend to start and stop recording a lot, and you end up with a whole lot of footage that is kind of unusable. What I do is I like to keep the camera rolling for as long as possible. At the beginning, when I was super self-conscious and super bad at speaking, I would just try to get one line at a time. I keep recording as I stutter through sentences, and I keep repeating myself until I get at least one good take. The reason why I record myself this way is it actually saves me a lot of time. For more art and entrepreneurship type videos, make sure to jingle all my bells and buttons for new videos every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. After you've made a few YouTube videos, you'll start to realize that messing up is okay because you have the power and the magic of editing. You don't need to get an entire paragraph right every single time. That's going to make the filming process and the editing process take a really, really long time. For me, when I use my process, it doesn't really take me longer than 40 minutes to an hour to record an 8-minute to 10-minute video. Before, when I was just a beginner, it would take me so much longer just to record a 10-minute video, which meant I'd only be able to record maybe 1 or 2 videos a day. Now I can record about 4 videos in one session. The second step of my process is the rough cut. That's basically the term used for a rough cut of your video. And what you do is you put all the footage into your timeline and you cut out all the mistakes. This is the bare bones version of your video. It doesn't have B-roll, it doesn't have any fancy graphics or transitions or anything. It's just the rough cut. But it's actually a pretty important part of the process because it's basically the bones of your video. This is where the magic of editing makes you look and sound more confident about what you're saying. You cut out all the stutters, all the times you're repeating yourself or messing up, and suddenly it seems like you are delivering entire paragraphs without messing up, even though there was a lot of stuttering and mess ups in between. The third step in my process is to crop in and out. Once you have your rough cut locked, you will review your video and then you will crop in and out for emphasis and for shot variety. In Hollywood, if you've noticed, TV shows and movies, typically one shot, which is basically one angle of a scene, typically only lasts 2 to 3 seconds, depending. The reason for this rule is because you want to keep your audience's attention. Most people will get bored after the 3-second mark, or because YouTube is a little bit different and you don't have as many angles or different shots to choose from, especially with talking head videos like this. You imitate different shots by cropping in and out. Doing this will actually help your video retention. It will help people not get bored while watching you talk directly at them and help them watch all the way through your 8 to 10 minute long YouTube video. Before I move on to my next tip, I have a completely different process for how I edit lifestyle content like vlogs, and if you'd like to see a process video on that, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. The fourth step is to review your rough cut. This is the part where you review your entire video and you jot down notes of where you want your B-roll and graphics to show up. B-roll B-roll and graphics is a great way to increase your audience retention because it is a really great way to spice up your video and up your video quality. Even after adding crop ins and outs, your audience still might get bored watching you talk to them for 8 minutes. So your job is to get creative about adding B-roll and graphics to help explain further your points. And keep in mind the 2 to 3 second rule. As you're watching back your rough cut, keep in mind when you get bored. Those moments are great places to add B-roll. The 5th step in the process is to add the B-roll. Layer your B-roll on top of your rough cut and watch it through. Even adding simple typography on top is enough to spice things up and keep your audience interested. The 6th step is to add music. My rules for music is to make sure it's instrumental and make sure it is on very low volume. The reason why I like to use music on my videos, even though for some people's taste it might be a little bit distracting, is because music has a psychological trigger. Music tends to make your audience like you more. Instrumental music happens to be the least distracting, while music with lyrics can make it hard to hear what you're saying. I tend to lower the volume of the music on my videos so that it's just barely there, just enough to hint at a mood. I get my royalty-free music from Epidemic Sound. I'll have a link down below if you would like to try it out. I used to scour the internet for free royalty-free music that I could use, but it wasted a whole lot of time and you're never 100% sure that it is royalty-free. So I just pay for Epidemic Sound and I'm good. It also has an amazing library of amazing music that I use on all of my videos and it's worth the money. And the 7th step is to review your final cut. Once everything is done, make sure to review your video all the way through. This is called the final cut. A lot of people don't do this, but this is a really important part of the process. It's your last chance to catch any and all mistakes. Mistakes like black screen gaps, bad or missing graphics, bad sound, or accidentally repeating a take. This is also a really big opportunity for what those in animation call plussing it. It's basically the last chance you're going to get to make your video as best as possible. So delete anything that isn't good enough, or cut a long explanation or rant down a few sentences. It's your last chance to make this video as entertaining and watchable as possible. So as you're watching your final cut, if you're getting bored watching your own video back, then you need to fix it. If you'd like to learn more about how to use social media to grow your online business, check out my free guide, 8 steps to launch your online store. Head over to honeyandabsinthe.com to buy my merch. I'm currently wearing the fight shirt today. Check out these other videos next to learn more about how to use YouTube and other social media to grow your online business. If you like the video, make sure to like the video, jingle all my bells and buttons for more art and entrepreneurship type videos, and don't forget to dare to dream.